This is my Unit 4 final project. Background information. The problem I chose to solve was the problem I have with Allen wrenches when I'm helping my dad build something. Because you can't tighten the screw all the way, because it always hits something when you're trying to tighten it. This is important to solve so you can save time when building something, because tightening the screw takes forever when you cannot tighten all the way around. There are a lot of existing solutions for this problem, like the all-ports 1/16 inch hex Allen wrench and the Tecton ball hex key wrench set, but these are also hard to screw because sometimes they get hit on when you're trying to tighten them. We need a new solution for this because the straight wrenches that are around right now are too bulky and mine is more compact. My targeted consumer for this project was anybody that needs the tool, and my criterion constraints for it had to be smaller than 6.5 inches, so it would still be pretty small and easy to hold, and it must be able to fit like an average size screw, which I found was kind of hard to find, but I did find a lot of them. And it must have a handle and a shaft. It must be easy to hold, and it must be good looking. This was my first sketch. It is made entirely out of wood and only one single piece, and it measures 5 inches in length, and it had an Allen wrench head. My second solution is 6 inches, so a little bit longer. Also made mostly out of wood, but this solution has aluminum on the shaft of the wrench for the consumer's enjoyment. The process I used to decide one solution was to go back to the criteria I decided on and rated my concepts on how well my ideas did in relation to that criteria. And I found that my second idea did better than my first idea. This was my Tinkercad model. This was my base prototype, which was just it was a little bit longer than I would have liked, but it fit most of the screws that I tested it on, and only was a little bit iffy on one. And yeah, this is how I built it. I just used a knife to make it. And I used 5 screws, and it worked for 4 out of the 5 of those screws. And it was also, I noticed it was too long to fit in my pocket, so I cut off 1 inch from the 6 inches it had before. From my observations, I realized my prototype has too little length of the prototype on the end, so it couldn't really fit in the screw to screw all the way. And the improvements I want to make are to extend the tip as well as the thickness of it. This was my final prototype. Sorry for the kind of messed up photo quality, but I worked on what I had. I extended the length of the head of the wrench and the thickness, and I also created a handle. Reflection. I used the design process to produce a solution to the problem set out from the start of the project by sketching solutions for the problem and creating a 3-dimensional model of the best one, aka step 2 of the design process. I use each step of the design process to stay on task and create a prototype solution to the problem I set out to solve from the beginning. What could be better with more time would probably be a lot of things overall with the wrench, but most specifically probably how well I could tighten it. And my main takeaway from the project was that the engineering and design process is a good way to solve literal problems in your home and the world. The end. My references was just, I got all my research from the Home Depot website.
All right, thank you. Let's give Lucy a round of applause.